The quality of your communication depicts the quality of your life. And in this case, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to impact the quality of your job search. Okay, it's no secret in your job search, you're being judged. When a company calls you, when a recruiter messages you, when you get an email, how you respond, what you say, where it goes is depicted by the quality of how you sound, what you say. A quick example of this, which is something that I see quite a lot, especially when I speak to people, is when someone asks you how you are. Now, if somebody asks you, hey, how are you? And you just say, I'm good, and you don't ask them how they are, that's the quality of your communication showing as low quality. That's a very basic example. Another example is to show how many questions you ask or the quality of the type of question, whether they're intelligent or whether they are basic. Another example would be, hey, do you have any jobs? And a high quality communication example would be, I'm interested to make an application. What would be the soft skill required for this role? That would be the quality of communication improving. These are all basic examples, but you probably get the point. Now, this is a bit of a wake up call. If you're watching this and you're finding this interesting, it probably means that there is a quality or lack of in the way you communicate. When a company hires you, or think about hiring you, they are judging every segment of how you sound, how confident you sound, how rich your vocabulary is. Are you asking the right questions? Are you asking them how they are? Are you saying things like, hey, this is a great opportunity. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I want to thank you for your time in making this call. Or when you're responding to emails, are you responding in a genuine traditional email way, or are you sending a text message? When you're getting a LinkedIn message, are you sending a very wordy LinkedIn message? Now, the quality doesn't mean you have to put more emphasis on the way you speak. It just means you have to speak for the viewpoint of the mechanism of how you communicate. Example of this is when you're on the phone. If you're saying, yeah, hi, I'm good. Yeah, that happens a lot with recruiters calling job seekers. And it also happens a lot with companies calling job seekers and thinking, we're never going to hire this person because they just sound like they can't be bothered. And a lot of you sound like this. And I don't know why, but it seems to be, and I'm going to sound really old saying this, but it seems to be the new generation. So people who are a lot younger than me entering the workforce right now, there's a little bit of a lack of communication or quality of. So when an employer calls you, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for taking the time to respond, to call me. I'm really interested about learning about this opportunity. When they ask you a question, emphasize the motivation. You can't go through your job search with just basic responses. People are judging you. And if you think it's not fair, I understand, but that's what the real world is like, especially when you're dealing with people who are much older than you, who are in senior decision-making positions, like the head of HR, global head of HR of JP Morgan. They haven't just finished university. Okay, they finished university 20 years ago. They deal with people and they know first impressions count. Every company you want to join, they are judging you with a first impression, and you've only got a one shot at a first impression. Now, I know it doesn't seem fair. You might be having a bad day. You might, I speak to people all the time. And a little bit of a funny thing is when I call people at, let's say, 1 in the afternoon, UK time, European time, US time, I speak to the world. And in some cases, people wake up. Now, I get it. Some people work night shifts and maybe it's the wrong time. But naturally, I remember when I was looking for a job and let's say, I had a late one, whether that was a job or going out, and I had a call from someone important or something professional where I had to speak in a formal way, I remember taking the time out to say, look, had a bit of a late one, apologies. Do you mind if we do the call in 2 hours? I'll put it in my diary. Or if someone called me and it was a job, I was excited. I wanted to put my best foot forward. And there's a lack of that happening right now, especially with younger job seekers. And look, before you start putting bad comments below this video saying, hey, Milo, you don't know what you're talking about, I know how to be polite. It's not just about being polite. It's just about improving the quality of your communication, asking questions. Now, older people are also subject to this. And I've spoken to a lot of job seekers who are high-level job seekers, senior positions, C-suite. Sometimes, very rarely, it does happen in C-suite, but Not too much. When I deal with CEOs, CFOs, COOs, there is that element of high quality communication because these people are in boardrooms all the time. It's very rare for that to happen. Mid-level, depending on who you're speaking to, quality of job they're looking for. If you're looking for a barista position, I get it. I've done that job myself. Shout out Cafe Nero. That was an interesting couple of months. But if you're looking for a barista position, you're probably not looking at this video to get a barista position. If you're in a barista job, more power to you. I'm a coffee addict, so I have the utmost respect for everybody who's a barista. But if you're looking at this video, you're probably thinking about moving from a barista to a data analyst or a project manager, or you're a data analyst and you want to go into a much more detailed data analyst position, or you're a student and it's your first job, or you're someone who's just a teacher now and you think, I don't want to be a teacher anymore. I want to do this new job. And now's the perfect time to start looking at new opportunities. But the quality of your communication is your best foot forward. The quality of your LinkedIn profile is also another form of communication. Think of this as communication hygiene. Is your communication hygiene high quality, or is it just basic and companies are judging you before they even speak to you? Companies are judging your LinkedIn by how it looks, by the headline, by the bio, by the vibe it gives off, by the amount of connections you have. Do you have a full profile? Do you have a banner image behind your profile photo? This is all the quality of how you communicate your profile. If they call you, let's say you have an incomplete profile. I spoke to somebody yesterday who has an incomplete profile. They didn't have a display photo. They didn't have a banner image. They had the first initial for their first name. They had the second initial for their surname. And then they had another, I can't remember what it was, but it was like a doctor position, but they weren't a doctor. It was really strange. When I asked them what was the reason for not having a full profile, their response was, well, I'm pretty private. I don't really like social media. And I get that, but there's levels to things that you have to adhere to in the new world of job search, social media, and just the new world in general. I mean, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, you're probably not going to have a good job search in comparison if you did have a good or an available LinkedIn profile. If you have a complete LinkedIn profile, that will also increase the chances of you actually getting an opportunity. If your LinkedIn profile looks bad, less opportunities. If you pick up the phone and you say, yeah, less opportunities. If someone says, hey, John, and let's say your name is John, how are you? I'm good. You don't have too many opportunities after that. That might be someone calling you to ask you if you're available for an interview next week because your profile looks at least interesting. It's interesting enough to get a phone call. So a lot of people really fall off with this. It's such a small thing to do, to actually just think, okay, this person's going to judge me on how I sound, how my profile looks. This also includes the quality of your CV. If your CV is a one-page CV, but it just doesn't say anything about you, the quality of your communication is low. It doesn't mean that the quality of your communication is just on how you sound. It's everything. It's the first impression. The first impression is the text message you sent, the LinkedIn message you sent, the email message you sent, the email you sent, the way you reply, the way you sound on the phone. Do you sound excited? Let me give you 2 examples. Hi. Yeah. Hi. How are you? I'm good. This happens on a daily basis with recruiters and people I speak to. Here's another example. Hey, thank you so much for calling me. How can I help? Well, we've seen your profile oh, amazing. Thank you. I'm so excited about that particular position. I would love to know more. Is there anything you need to know from me? Yeah, I would love to know this experience. Fantastic. I'm so glad you've asked. This experience I have is transferable, in my opinion, in this way. But I'm really interested to find out how this particular, even if you're not really saying anything, you want to sound excited, motivated. You want every single message you send, every single, tonality point in the way you communicate to explain who you are. Even if this is outside of your nature, practice it. The next time somebody calls you, be excited. You'll see how that call changes. If it's a recruiter, great. They've got a whole new positive view on who you are and who you could be. If it's someone randomly calling you from O2 or AT&T and they're trying to sell you another package, still be motivated. Hey, thank you so much for the call. I'm not interested. Try it. It's hilarious. And it will also boost your confidence when you do get the real call from somebody. The call happens. It's the company of your dreams. You're excited. They want to know about you. You're even more excited to tell them about you. You're even more excited to sell yourself because the quality of your communication depicts the quality of your life and in turn, the quality of your job search. Thank you so much if you've listened to me up until this point. I really appreciate your time. Like and subscribe. And in the link below, if you want to improve the quality of your communication, I work with a lot of job seekers. There is a link for us to work together. You can connect to me on LinkedIn. I am more than happy to give you some quick advice if I have time, and carry on watching the videos. Thank you.